Hello, here's Aquifil again, and as we're on the road to WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble pay-per-view was yesterday, of course, I want to give you a review of the events that took place yesterday in Orlando, Florida. And yeah, I want to start with the pre-show. Gotta look at my notes here. Well, the pre-show, as always, with the main roster, well, they break down the card, of course, and even if Jerry the King Lawler was a nice replacement of Byron Saxton, well, it's more or less an hour wasted. As with the video packages, we see we see them later again on the main pay-per-view, and the match, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match to determine the two additional entrants for the Royal Rumble. It did not really matter who won it, as, let's be honest, it was crystal clear from the beginning that whoever won it or wins it wouldn't really play that much or that huge a part in the Royal Rumble match. So, yeah, the pre-show, well, I don't know why I watched it most of the time, especially the Fatal 4-Way match. Yeah, we didn't see most of the match as there was the same commercial break that was between almost every match on the card. Yeah, teasing the new shows that will be, that we can watch soon on the WWE network. Why waste valuable pay-per-view time for this? The subscribers have other ways of getting to know what will be on the network. Those who won't subscribe to or haven't subscribed for a free month on the network, these shows are not likely to bring them in and finish the deal. But anyway, as soon as the pay-per-view started, we had the IC title match as the opener, which makes sense considering that Owens and Ambrose would be in the Royal Rumble later on, and the time between the opener and the main event gives them time to regenerate and be more credible competitors in the Royal Rumble. And both sold their previous injuries or, well, the stress the match put on them. They sold it pretty well during the Rumble later on. But the last man standing match was a nice last man standing match. It had intensity. It was rather violent. There were a lot of tables broken. Still, two points of criticism. First of all, the one that I always bring to the table and I always mention when it comes to last man standing matches, and that's the classic, well, we all know, whether we're smart marks, normal marks, it does not really matter. We all know that this match, after this feud, it wouldn't end after 5 minutes. So why there are always these long counts up to 7, 8, 9, 5 minutes into the match, I'll never get it. And you can never plausibly make it plausible to me. It doesn't make any sense, because even Owens and Ambrose, being in their role, should know, that guy is a tough son of a bitch, and probably one or two I don't want to say big spots, but 2 or 3 spots won't put them out of commission. So there's a lot of time wasted, and at times it doesn't really build drama. It just hurts the flow of the match. At times, at least. And that's why I always prefer Texas Death Matches, where you have to pin your opponent before the 10 count is applied by the ref, because you can build the drama with the pinfalls. You can have a lot of close falls or near falls, and after that, if a guy 15 minutes into the match is pinned 1, 2, 3 and gets up at an 8 count, up until then you can have fast-paced, violent action and less of this dragging along with 1, 2, 3, and we all know he's gonna get up. Second point of criticism in an otherwise very good bout is that double table spot. Not that the double table spot was bad, but uh, as a very vocal fan mentioned, so to speak, he shouted it. That's stupid. Kevin Owens took quite a lot of time stacking these tables on each other, and the Ambrose was lying outside the ring. He plays Bob the Builder like Abyss in TNA in his prime, and there's nobody can see what this is supposed to lead to. And yeah, of course, shortly after he tries to suplex him through it, but well, yeah, till the end the tables are standing there, and Owens probably realized in hindsight it was not the best idea preparing a spot when you're gonna do a moonsault in that corner. Well, at least the finish was, yeah, credible. After that fall, that Owens could not answer the 10 count, that's fine with me. And Ambrose winning it, well, we'll see what the future has in stock for Kevin Owens, but it was a good match, was pretty entertaining, was violent, and the 2 points of criticism aside, it was a really good match. And I think Meltzer will give it about, 4 to 4.25 stars. And yeah, I can agree with that. Well, I could agree with that. Next was the tag team titles match between the New Day and the Usos. And after we had a moment of mourning for the trombone, Xavier Woods brought in the new trombone, and well, the promo, as always, either you love the antics of the New Day or you fucking hate them. I think it's funny, so that added to it. The match itself, well, most of the time it was a rather normal, decent tag team match. The finish was cool. Big E catching Jimmy or Jey Uso, I can't tell them apart. I probably never will. He catches him out of midair, ends the, yeah, big ending. Well, I don't really know what Big E's finisher is called at the moment, because, well, we don't see it that often. Yeah, I think it's Big Landing. Either way, it was a cool spot to finish the match, and something that was really interesting to see. We all know the New Day gets reactions like few other people on the roster. Well, the New Day are supposed to be heels and the Usos are supposed to be faces. Well, guess who had the favor of the crowd with them? Of course, the New Day. The Usos are a cool tag team. I think they are talented. Not the best tag team ever, but they have some talent. Yet, it appears that they are cold. They are in dead water. The people didn't really seem to care about the Usos. The New Day, on the other hand, they are cool. The people like them. After that, we had the US title match between Kalisto and Alberto Del Rio, and the story leading into that match. Well, Kalisto beat Del Rio for the title, lost his title very shortly afterwards due to interference by, I think it was Bad News Barrett, or King Barrett, or Barrett, Wade Barrett. So, yeah, that was underwhelming. A really underwhelming title reign. And now they had the rematch again. And I love that Kalisto won, but I haven't seen Kalisto or Samurai de Soul with his former gimmick in the Indies. I have rarely seen him I hope you know what I mean, miss so many spots or fuck up so many spots. Some were rather, well, yeah, it worked, but if you watched closely, you saw, Alberto Del Rio went with the flow, so to speak. Otherwise, it was not really that authentic, that credible, that what I, it's a problem you often have with certain lucha moves. They don't look like they hurt, and it's rather, yeah, sketchy that Alberto Del Rio, for example, after a Hurricanrana or head scissor that barely had him in his grasp, so that he really had the momentum to go into the corner. So Alberto Del Rio goes with it and throws himself into the corner, although there is no way that physically would have happened otherwise. So it's hard to describe. It just isn't very convincing at times. And Kalisto, and as well as when he was Samurai de Solo on the Indies, he was so spot on. And in this match, it seemed like he was always a little tiny bit out of touch, or screwed up the timing just by an inch. So the biggest botch of the match, of course, was this powerbomb stuff he wanted to do. He tried to double stomp Alberto Del Rio, who was bending over, and then go into this lucha powerbomb. I call it lucha powerbomb as of now, because I don't think this move has a real name. At least I don't know it right now. So yeah, and he doesn't catch Del Rio's arms with his legs, and in the end they just collapse, and they saved it a little bit by making it appear it was a strange roll-up attempt. So yeah, a lot of criticism for that, but in the end it still was a fast-paced and entertaining match. Nothing great, nothing that memorable, but it was entertaining. And for a mid-card filler match, that's more than you get often or at other times. So the Divas, Charlotte defending her title against Becky Lynch, wasn't a great match too, but this was the first time I really thought there was something about their Divas revolution on the main roster. We all know Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Paige, they all on NXT, they all stole the show. They could legitimately main event a special event, or an NXT NXT takeover. Wow. And yeah, the people bought it. Well, it's a long way to go for that to happen on the main roster. But this Divas revolution, most of the time, it wasn't really convincing, because you had people like Brie Bella in there, or if you had the talented Divas who really could go, they had 5 to 10 minute matches, matches under 5 minutes, or 10-minute matches in which they did a lot of crap that is so below them and below what they could do if they wanted to, or if they were allowed to. So yeah, this was the first time, after a pretty hectic start and a few rest holds, still there was a lot of wrestling in between it, and it wasn't great, as I said, but it was okay. It was pretty nice. So that's a way to start, and especially Sasha Banks turning on Charlotte afterwards in the aftermath, that was awesome. I just hope that they won't let Becky Lynch fall through the cracks, because she's a very talented performer. She has a very unique accent, and it would be a shame if she fell through the cracks and the WWE focused on Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, because the whole build-up for this Royal Rumble match without a follow-up seems like pearls before swine. So but just one more point of criticism for this match, the finish. I love the spot where Ric Flair kissed Becky Lynch to distract her. That was great. That was funny. That was Ric Flair. Well, you know what I mean. That was funny, but him throwing the jacket over her head, what's that supposed to? Yeah, I mean, she could have held the hold, and who would have cared? What did Ric Flair think she would do? Fall asleep? I don't know. In the end, that was not the best way to finish this match, especially if that was it, or if that was it, and there's nothing more to come after it. But, well, entertaining match, yes, nothing great. Few notes on the side before I'll dive into the Royal Rumble match. There was, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of commercials for WWE Network shows. I'm a subscriber, and even if this is my free month, because before 2016 the WWE Network wasn't available in Germany, but as I said, there are other ways to find out what shows will be there, and I don't think these shows will put butts in their seats, so to speak, as I subscribe for the pay-per-views, recent and past, for documentaries about the superstars, so I don't have to buy the DVDs anymore or the Blu-rays, so I can have the content for less money. Edge and Christian's show that totally reeks of awesomeness and WWE camp, well, I'll look into them, but I don't think that's what sells the network, and they waste pay-per-view time with it. And there was a whole lot of focus on the whole Roman Reigns story. The Royal Rumble up until now was always more like, everybody for himself. Nobody, we always had alliances, but they made it seem, of course, Reigns is the champion, he defends it against 29 other guys. But they really advertised it like it was Roman Reigns going in there, and there are 29 other guys who want to beat him, and they're on the same side. They don't care who wins as long as Roman Reigns is eliminated. And really advertising it that way, building it up that way, I dare to say that hurts Roman Reigns much more than it helps him. And I'll come to it, but Reigns needs all the help he can get. Well, the Royal Rumble match, the main event. Reigns enters with a lot of boos from the crowd. Rusev enters at number 2, is eliminated pretty fast. And then the number 3 entrant, AJ Styles. His big WWE debut. Many people discussed it before the Royal Rumble. Would it be wise to put AJ in a match which he certainly would not win, because it was obvious he wouldn't win. He did not factor in any way into the main event storyline, revolving around Roman Reigns, the Authority, and how would Styles fit in there. As a goonie for the Authority, but that's no way to present a guy like AJ Styles, and that's something the WWE knew spot on. So would it be wise to put him in a match he can't win? So, well, I think it was wise, because it was in Orlando, Florida. The people there, I think they have seen quite a few TNA shows. And of course they knew who AJ Styles was, and that made him appear big. If I wouldn't have known him from the indies, from New Japan and from TNA, and I would have sat there and thought, who is this guy? I don't know him. Oh, the crowd is chanting for him. They think he's a big deal. The WWE seems to think he's a big deal. And damn, he lasted almost 30 minutes. He made a very good impression. I don't know if AJ Styles had wrestled in a Battle Royale before, but he really pulled it off. He brought in his spots, brought in his trademarks, had many close eliminations in which he could do the same thing that Dolph Ziggler or Shawn Michaels often do. Be thrown out there, hang on just for a second, and save themselves. He just fit in there perfectly. And that's awesome. He was eliminated by Kevin Owens later on. That could lead to a possible feud if it's not Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, because Owens was eliminated by Sami Zayn then later on. But now it's important that WWE follows up with AJ Styles, because this debut wasn't the biggest or greatest debut ever, but it worked. I think it really worked, and the people think now see AJ Styles, yes, this guy is something to watch out for. Yeah, and of course, during the whole time AJ Styles was in there, there were AJ Styles chants. So he was the most over guy in the Royal Rumble. Maybe exceptions are Brock Lesnar, who always is just awesome, and Dean Ambrose at the end, or Triple H when he eliminated Roman Reigns. I don't think WWE wanted the crowd to pop for that in a positive manner. So yeah, he threw him out. Thank you, Triple H. Well, after that, it was a nice Royal Rumble, classic stuff. People get eliminated. There are few spots that are interesting. Yeah, most noticeably then later on, the League of Nations, of course, attacked Roman Reigns. Makes sense from a storyline point of view, of course. Because I want an answer to this. WWE bookers, writers, whatever. I know it makes sense that they attack him, and I know it would be a bad booking decision for the storyline as you wanted it to play out, to have them eliminate him. But do you really think nobody would notice that the League of Nations are stupid Goonies and Vince McMahon leading their way to attack Roman Reigns appears like somebody who, can think farther ahead than he could throw the Big Show. I mean, come on. You beat the guy up, yes. He's out of there, but it's obvious that he would come back. He at least would try to come back. And even if you put him out of the match, he could say, hey, I never lost the title. I was never eliminated. Of course, Curtis Axel was never eliminated last year, but who cares about Curtis Axel? As hard as it sounds. Honestly, if you beat up the guy, eliminate him first. Otherwise, you look dumb. Really dumb. Now, anyway, Roman Reigns is escorted back to the locker room by EMTs. Tried to pull a Stone Cold Steve Austin there. He refuses to be carried out of the arena. He wants to walk out. Okay. Nice thing that somebody like Kofi Kingston gets eliminated in the process. Roman Reigns is getting beat up. What happens in the ring? It doesn't matter. Roman Reigns is getting beat up. That's where the action is. And that Kofi Kingston gets eliminated by Chris Jericho. I'm honest here. I watched it and I thought, where the fuck is Kofi Kingston? I don't know where he is. And as an afterthought, later on they say, oh, well, Kofi Kingston was eliminated when Reigns was attacked. Here's a replay of it. Oh, yeah. Well, nice to know. So, of course, when Owens enters, he attacks Styles. They fight. Styles gets eliminated. Owens says, welcome to the WWE, and gets his ass handed to him by Sami Zayn shortly afterwards. And the Wyatt family, as soon as they are complete, save Bray Wyatt. They dominate the whole thing. And Braun Strowman, I don't like him as a wrestler. He's just a big, strong thing standing in there. It's hard to say something like that. It's not nice, but honestly, he doesn't strike me as the new Dean Malenko or even the new Big Show. But he made a strong showing here. He eliminated Big Show single-handedly. He eliminated the good old Mark Henry single-handedly. And let's be honest here, why Mark Henry was in it, just to make Braun Strowman appear like a legitimate threat. That was the only reason. So Brock Lesnar comes in, eliminates the whole Wyatt family, and again Strowman it took him a while, and if Lesnar needs some time and a few shots to eliminate you from a Royal Rumble, you look good. You look like you are a menace for everybody who stands in your way. Because Brock Lesnar, if you lose to Brock Lesnar, and yeah, don't lose after the first F5 or the first shot to the head, you're a legitimate tough guy. So anyway, as soon as Bray Wyatt enters, we have a little showdown between Wyatt and Lesnar. The Wyatt family appears from all sides of the rings, attacks Lesnar. He fights back, and yeah, of course, in the end, Lesnar is eliminated. I was surprised that he let it go quite easily. He was eliminated. Sure, he looked pissed off. He didn't go on a rampage, because that's not very face-like. And heading into a possible feud against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, of course, Lesnar is going to be the face. But that was very well played by the WWE. It made the Wyatt family appear like a threat, because even if they were four guys, I mean, they took out Brock Lesnar. That's, again, you have to mention that. They took him out again. And it should be a nice war between those two. But, oh, we'll see. I think Lesnar will tear through the whole Wyatt family and at WrestleMania face Bray, and then they clash, and we'll see which way it goes. But I think Wyatt would really need the win. Anyway, The Miz, when he entered, he sat down at the commentary table, played the smart guy. He didn't want to be in there when Strowman? Don't care. The big, tree-like thing with the beard. And when he and Lesnar were in there, of course, somebody like The Miz doesn't want to be in the ring when these two are standing in there. Well, he goes in. When Sheamus enters, Reigns re-enters the Rumble, beats up Sheamus. Miz is gone. Alberto Del Rio is gone. Reigns gets booed, as always. And then we have number 30, and I said it to a friend, I said it in my preview. The highest chance of being number 30 is Triple H. And, of course, he wasn't. I said it to a friend. In number 30, we will hear, time to play the game. And it was time to play the game. And Triple H was received rather positively. Looking how he is the CEO, something with C and O's of the WWE. I don't think he's the chief executive officer. I don't care. He's a big shot at WWE office. He is one of the biggest names of the authority, or in the authority. And he gets cheered. Not because the people loved to see him go in there. I mean, I loved it because I knew where this was heading and I liked it. But yeah, just because they wanted to see Reigns get eliminated. And well, Ziggler is eliminated. Wyatt and Triple H have a nice stare down. And then when you think Wyatt is gonna work with him, he knocks Triple H loopy. Well, anyway, a lot of people are eliminated, and the final four are Sheamus, just to be a goonie for Triple H, Reigns, because that's just who he is, Dean Ambrose, because why the fuck not, and Triple H. and of course then, as soon as Sheamus is eliminated by Reigns, Triple H runs in there, throws Reigns over the top rope, and he hasn't won yet, but he gets huge cheers for that. kudos to WWE. I'm sure that's what you wanted to get out. That's the reaction you wanted to get when you planned it out. Ah, well, but Triple H hasn't won yet. Dean Ambrose is still there. And as soon as Reigns is out of the equation, Triple H no longer is a face. He's not the savior of the masses. Dean Ambrose is getting cheered. But of course, Ambrose had a hard match earlier in the evening, so Triple H in the end can eliminate him too, although he came close to be eliminated on several occasions against Ambrose. So it would have been interesting to see Ambrose Reigns, but as I said in the preview, I'm looking forward to Reigns versus Triple H, but there's one problem, and that has been the problem with this whole thing with Roman Reigns. The people don't want to see a superhero. They don't want to see the son of the illegitimate son of Son Goku and Superman. They want to see a legitimate badass like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But yeah, the way it's gonna go, I believe Reigns will tear through the League of Nations again, because they are just Goonies, nothing more. And in the end, of course, he will win against Triple H, but it's all a matter of how the WWE does it, and if they do it right and have Triple H be obnoxious, be horrible, be what people think he is, an egomaniac. People on the internet, many people think, oh, Triple H's ego has run rampant. Yeah, he made himself champion again, and no, those people don't know what they're talking about, because they didn't want to see Reigns as champion. Triple H is no better. He's just an egomaniac who wants to be champion for I don't know, gazillionth time. So that's not cool either. Dean Ambrose as a champion, yeah. Where do they go with that? Because he's Intercontinental Champion. Yeah, of course, AJ Styles would have been a great choice, yes. He just debuted. Why should he win the title without a storyline that's waiting for him? Brock Lesnar has a storyline, and Brock Lesnar does not need a title to make the match huge. Daniel Bryan is still out with injury, even if some people think he's held back because WWE booking doesn't want him to steal Reigns' spotlight. Whatever you want. Triple H, as of now, is storyline-wise the best choice, and if they do it right, he's the chance for Roman Reigns to really get over. He has to be obnoxious and egomaniac and really start to piss people even more off with his whole authority thing. And if they do it right, it's the Reigns effect. Triple H has to be so unnerving, so horrible that you just want to see him off TV, and Reigns has to be the person who ensures that. And if they do it right, the people will at least forgive Reigns how he was booked in the past, if this is done right. If it's done the way WWE always has done it in the past year or so, as soon as they have the right foundation laid out, like Roman Reigns beating up Triple H after TLC, and then start again with a Superman, Son Goku, superhuman being crap that nobody wants to see, Reigns is dead again. So, well. Anyway, sorry for that. Anyway, the Royal Rumble match was quite decent. I would go as far as to say it was the best in the last years, because let's face it, since 2010 Edge was a great winner, the Rumble match itself wasn't that great. It was the best Royal Rumble match since 2008, and it in my opinion has the right winner. And it established 3 possible feuds for WrestleMania, which is quite a decent number considering what happened in the last years. So all in all, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view was pretty entertaining. The IC match was very good. Tag titles, US title and Divas title matches, they were not great, but entertaining. No, yeah, not the horrible stuff, filler stuff we often have, or mid-card filler stuff we often have on pay-per-views, especially when there is one big match that's supposed to overshadow everything else. Yeah, and of course, the match that is supposed to overshadow everything else, the Royal Rumble match, it was decent too. Only thing that it really lacked, aside from Sami Zayn and AJ Styles, it lacked the real surprises, because who didn't see Triple H getting involved coming from a mile away, or 2 miles, maybe 1,000 miles? Everybody knew there was a huge chance that Triple H would be in it. So, still, pretty decent start for the road to WrestleMania, better than in the last years. So, yeah, I hope we all enjoy a very thrilling and entertaining time on the road to WrestleMania, and of course a great WrestleMania. So, if you want, you can comment in the commentary section or comment section how you saw the matches, how you liked them, how you liked the booking decisions. And please know, Triple H is an egomaniac, not this kind of shit. I mean, he's the driving force behind NXT, so if you like NXT, don't rip on Triple H. Yeah, until the Fastlane, I think, maybe before Fastlane I'll do another 10 count with the best or worst WrestleMania main events. I'll look where I'll start with, or what I start with, and of course maybe 1 or 2 classic reviews. But yeah, if nothing else happens in the meantime, I hope you tune in again when it is time for a preview, and of course later on the review for Fastlane. And yeah, till then, have fun and so long.